Killing spree.
So PAX, we're showing a few new things. We've got multiplayer, obviously here on the floor, War Games. We're showing off our new Capture the Flag mode, which is exciting because it's a classic Halo mode, but we've made some twists and changes to it. New map, Exile. We are going to have some Spartan Ops out here tomorrow as well, since that's a really new experience. So yeah, a few new things for people to get a look at.
Crimson advice you to keep an eye on that turret.
The reaction has been incredibly positive. Like the team, especially right now, because the team is just in deep, heinous crunch. The team feels great about it. We've got, Halo's always had such a breadth of players, and I think we've got a really good balance, and I think the new features are being welcomed. Always a little skepticism, but as soon as they're able to sit down and feel it, that's been really good. So yeah, we're feeling great.
Double kill.
We're not sleeping, we're eating junk food night and day, literally. Like yesterday was donut free day for me, which was amazing. But no, we're shutting everything down, which is so hard, right? Because it's all the bug fixing, it's making all those final polish decisions, and really trading off time and what we touch, and trying to get more and more people out of the build to try and minimize the churn on it. So it's shutting down.
Spartans prepare for combat by competing in war games, a vast simulated experience spanning competitive maps and modes.
So I am very comfortable admitting that I am a mediocre Halo player, multiplayer player, yeah, so I try not to handicap the team too much by jumping in with some of these 3-4-3 versus community battles, because they're ugly, ugly, ugly. I'm a strong player. Multiplayer competitive, not so much. I make up for it in other ways, I'd like to think.
What's your favorite multiplayer weapon to use?
I'm a BR. I need, or energy sword, frankly. I'm really kind of a grappler, melee. BR makes me feel like I'm a better long-range player than I am.
Now, obviously, without spoiling anything, what do you think their first words out of their mouth is going to be after they finish the campaign?
So my hope is that there's actually kind of a long pause before they say anything, because I feel like it's really an impactful experience. So I hope there's just sort of that big inhalation, and I hope what they end up saying is, that was amazing. That was an amazing Halo story.
Obviously, here in the last couple months of development here, this point where you said you have to shut stuff down, what is one of the things that you kind of hoped you could get in, but ultimately you had to make the tough decision where, like, we don't have the time?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's always sort of a long laundry list of those sorts of things. So it's hard to really pin it on any one thing. I think we ended up being really pleased with not just the scope of what we were able to do, but also the finish level and the polish of it. So we actually feel quite good about that piece of it.
So you guys are wrapping up. Have you guys already started planning and working on the next game, or are you guys like, just give me a break and let me take some time off?
Well, we're definitely very focused on the end game here. There's some noodling going on. There kind of has to be, right? So there's definitely some thought being put into place, and there was thought happening before we started this game, right? And in terms of how we wanted to map things out from a story and a game perspective. So definitely some thought happening.
Are there any rules you have for like Master Chief, kind of like a Bible that you have to follow when you work with him in a game?
I think it's not as literal as that. I think for us, we think about Chief in terms of what he needs to be able to give the player in terms of how they feel and the things that he needs to be able to do. And I think there are some things that we want to make sure, he is a strong character, and what does it mean for him to be vulnerable without being weak? I think those are the things we think about. And then there's a whole other set of rules if he's used in any sort of advertising, around what he can or can't do.
Stay close to me. I'm your best chance for survival.
And have you guys expanded on those at all with the character in this game, do you feel like?
I think maybe we've added a few more layers to it. I think maybe a little more nuance to really what people will understand about him.
How do you feel about him taking off the helmet? Do you feel like that's something you should ever do, or do you feel like you should always have kind of that mystery behind the shield?
Taking off the helmet's a mixed bag, right? And there's so much understanding you get of him from the books, and obviously he's physically described in the books. Yeah, I think that it's a mystique that works for him. On the other hand, he has a great story under that helmet too. So we kind of think about that balance a lot. It's really about breaking down what are things that people are just used to and what are things that really are just core to sort of the DNA of Halo. And I think as long as you can break those apart, it's okay to depart from some of the things that people are just used to, right? And there are going to be people who like or don't like that change, but we felt we really had to be able to make some changes and to go in some different directions with the game. And so, we needed to be comfortable with that early. And for us, I think that the process of analyzing and breaking down what we did want to for sure keep helped with that. The nice thing is the core gameplay loop, as you said, with Halo is really straightforward. Like, it's really sort of a clear picture of how weapons balance against each other. And so I think that's really important for us to maintain. A lot of the complexity comes in the strategy, right? And how much you employ strategy or not. And that's where I think you get levels of complexity. And as long as we fill our sandbox with enough tools that people who are into deeper strategy can make sort of better use of those tools, then I think we're in a good place. And so for people who are kind of the jump in every few years, every few months, I think it's a really gratifying experience, and the depth is there for the hardcore players.
Chief, there.
Thank you for being patient. This has been a total labor of love for the team, and all of us are just so excited to share it.
Impact predicted 77.8 kilometers due north.
He's heading.
Same place we are.